What's up, guys? Welcome to Stuck on the Screen, where we watch movies and TV shows and
never miss a scene.
Today we got really something special, something I hold close to my heart. I know this guy over here too, as you can see. He got
representing.
Yeah, so this is our Uncle Bobo. He's obviously a huge Star Wars fan. Destiny has never seen Star Wars, and this is her first time watching the prequels, so I'm very excited to get to talking about this. There's a lot to talk about, a lot of Jar Jar Binks, and a lot more to get into. So, you guys ready?
Let's do it.
I love how it picked up from second movie.
Yeah, it was straight to...
No, there's some time between, but there's not... Story-wise, there isn't. There's still... It's the same story, but time has gone on.
Yeah, there's
Actually, I think there's the cartoon, the Clone Wars, takes place between... So that's what happens in episode 2. That's the start of the clones, the Battle of Yavin. The clone army comes into the picture, and so from that time till episode 3, there's the Clone Wars exists. Yeah. It's the clone army versus the droid army. So there's time between. Yeah. It's just the same stuff has been happening all this time. You know, it's been the same stuff going on. But
because you get introduction to new characters that you didn't even know about, like General Grievous.
Yeah.
Right.
Him coming in, even in not in the Clone Wars show, but there was like a Clone Wars shorts. They were 3-4 minute things. It shows how Grievous got that cough that he has throughout the whole movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
When I was first introduced to General Grievous, I was like, he's a robot. Why is he coughing and
It's because he smoked before. I'm just kidding.
So let me ask you then, because I've never really watched the Clone Wars. I tried. It's super hard for me to watch the cartoons. I haven't finished
Clone Wars either.
I need live action. I mean, I can watch some cartoon stuff, but...
I finished Rebels, though.
I know the stories, but I didn't know how General Grievous got his cough.
Clone Wars. It's a short, and it's right before... It's basically 20 minutes before the third episode picks up, the third movie. Mm-hmm. Mace Windu is fighting Grievous, and he crushes his chest with the Force.
Oh.
Yeah, and then Grievous escapes in his ship or whatever.
Okay.
Because I know that he's half droid and half. He's got human components.
Yeah,
he has a heart.
He has a heart. Yeah, it's. I think that's what they did. They took his heart, what makes him human, and put it in a droid to keep him alive.
Oh,
I think
that makes more sense.
You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but
that makes more sense. Because I was like, isn't he mechanical? How is he have this nasty cough? Sounds like he's dying.
Tuberculosis. He's battling tuberculosis. He didn't get his TB shot before they filmed the movie.
So this movie by far has the best opening scene out of all Star Wars. Honestly, for me, the freaking Dooku fight with Obi-Wan and Anakin. That's a way to start off a movie with the lightsaber battle, and none of them have done
my favorite Star Wars movie. I wouldn't say by far, but it was my favorite for a while until the new ones came out. There's some competition there, but you guys can hate on me all you want with loving this movie, but this movie, to me, I can watch this movie over and over, and still I'm I still feel the feels when I'm watching.
You're hype.
I think people might have the opposite opinion of you, where they like this movie even more now because of the new movies that came out. Because a lot of people didn't like the new movies. I'm a fan of all Star Wars, so it's different for me, but some people didn't like the new ones, and we'll see what you think when we get there.
Watching this one made me want to watch the next one.
Don't worry, you'll get into the old 70s, 80s ones, and you'll get into the 2010, 20... but there's a lot for you to watch in a lot of different time zones. Yeah. CGI is going to change for you.
It's going to be hard with the special effects, but
but like I said...
Dang, why'd you make me start off like this?
Because this was the best way to get it.
CGI ain't all that bad.
If you started people. I think if she started in episode 4, it would have been a little bit boring for her. So I think going from 1, The Phantom Menace was a lot better.
Yeah, I agree.
Just because it was in the 70s, and who knows if you like 70s movies. So like I was saying, you get Chancellor Palpatine or Senator Palpatine. I don't know if he's Chancellor yet.
Yeah, I think he's Chancellor.
He's locked up. Anakin and Obi-Wan go to rescue him, and they fight Dooku. And Obi-Wan gets knocked out. Anakin then fights Dooku alone, and he, eventually ends up having him on his knees and double lightsaber. And what was going on in your head, Des?
Okay, what I was feeling was I I knew, one, I didn't trust the Chancellor. Two, Anakin and the Chancellor together don't mix. And like the way he was like encouraging him, like Anakin knew he shouldn't do it, and then he just like encouraged him to do it.
He was very conflicted throughout all three movies.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, and
So
this
I feel like that was the starting point for me, where I was like, okay, this duo is gonna be bad. They're gonna be bad together.
and I think Dooku felt really betrayed because obviously Sidious is his master, and him telling Anakin to kill him.
Yeah.
He's like, do it, Anakin, do it.
Yeah. Just like
The way he was speaking to him, it was a Sidious voice to do it.
Yeah.
But that's his whole. That's what he. It ain't about. First off, Siths only travel. Not travel in packs, but they like Yoda says, where there's one, there's another. There's always only two Siths at a time. So Darth Sidious knows he's the guy, the Sith. You know what I mean? And he's not worried about Dooku. He's like, you're old. You're not. He knows how powerful Anakin can be, so he's like, that's the one. He's the one that I want. That's why he's like, kill his ass. I don't care.
For how powerful Anakin is, though, Dooku was pretty badass, and honestly, for him to take on Yoda by himself and stand a chance, because Yoda is crazy, and then for him to take on both Anakin and Obi-Wan in their prime, because Anakin was a freaking sword master at that point.
He was getting there, yeah.
And for him to take them both and like held his own, I think Dooku is very.
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
Dooku was pretty powerful, but I think Sidious
But
saw
the
the potential.
in
Anakin and knew he could be.
Yeah, and you even
That's
see parts of
crazy.
leading up to Anakin or Sidious being bad when he's telling Anakin to leave Obi-Wan there. And she's like, don't worry about it. We don't have time.
Yeah. Honestly, when like Obi-Wan got knocked down, I felt like something bad was gonna happen. Like I was like, either Anakin's already bad, or like just when like Anakin and the Chancellor were standing together, like on the ship. I don't know what scene that was, but yeah, I was like,
He just knew something.
I
was
felt
coming.
like they were gonna like kill Obi-Wan and then just start doing their bad stuff. Like that's the sense that I
So
got.
you already knew something like
Yeah.
Anakin was gonna turn over and.
But yeah, that is true. But you can tell that Anakin's got love for I was gonna say Yoda. Anakin's got love for Obi-Wan for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm not gonna. It's his master. Even like as the story plays out, he's always got love for Yoda. I mean,
Yeah.
there I go
Obi-Wan,
again. Yoda.
yeah.
Obi-Wan. Anakin's always got love for Obi-Wan. You know, and
Yeah.
that whole scene where he grabs him and he's got both of them on his shoulders and then going up the elevator chute and Obi-Wan wakes up. What did you think of that? He's like, what's going on here?
Yeah. It was fun. Like this movie was funny. Like it had just funny parts, like the comedy in it.
Like R2D2.
I was about to say on R2. He's
He,
fighting
like,
the droids.
Yeah.
He sticks the damn thing he's talking to him. He puts it in his chest.
Trying to hide it.
Yeah. But yeah,
Or when he
likes those
sprays
droids.
them.
He
oils
lights them on fire. He oils them, or they out.
He
There's
oils them and then he jets.
And then he
jetpacks.
he lights them on fire.
Yeah, R2 can hold his own.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
funny
even like
too.
getting there when that thing was trying to attack him, and then he like shot them.
That's one thing people were hating on though. It's like R2's an astro droid. How's he fighting?
I mean, he's
I love
been through a
R2.
lot. Yeah,
It's all fun. It's all fun, people. Just enjoy the movie.
So after they land, Obi-Wan's like, "You handle the press. You're the hero, basically." Which, because Anakin did kill Dooku and he rescued everyone, you know. But he goes up to Padme, and you find out that Padme is pregnant. What were your thoughts?
Those were my thoughts.
Like you knew it was leading to something.
I knew it was, yeah. When I found out she was pregnant, I was like, this guy. This
Not
guy.
end well, huh?
Yeah. I just, the whole time, I was just like, Anakin just kept disappointing me more and more and more. And I was like, he needs to get it together because he's so dumb. I was getting so frustrated
he's
with
not
him.
dumb. He's
Okay.
He's
He makes bad decisions.
he makes
Yes,
bad
he makes
decisions.
bad
He makes this is a lesson for everyone. Don't make decisions with your heart. Get you in trouble sometimes. That's what he's doing. He's just making
Yeah.
decisions with his heart the whole time, you know. But he ain't dumb per se. But
Yeah, he is so frustrating.
I know.
Like,
Yeah, when I watch with my wife, same thing. She's like, why? She's always saying, why, Anakin? Why?
Yes.
Why, Anakin? Don't do it. Even though we've seen it so many times, you know, she's still like, why?
Well, even like watching this movie, there were times where I wanted it to play out differently than I knew it was going to play out. You know, I was hoping Anakin wouldn't attack Mace Windu. And, even watching it, I'm like, come on, Anakin, make the right choice.
Yeah.
So talking about that, that's when the Chancellor takes Anakin under his wing, and he appoints him as his own security. Mm-hmm. At that point when he becomes Chancellor, he goes to the Jedi and he overrules them, and he's like, I want Anakin to be my personal security. And the Jedi's like, you don't make decisions for the Jedi Council, we make our own decisions. Mm-hmm. And he manipulates even that to where Anakin has to be his personal security guard or whatever. And
so let him in the council, the Jedi Council.
Let him in the Jedi Council and all that. Yeah, so he can have ears and eyes on the inside. But that's when he really takes Anakin under his wing and starts to manipulate him. Like, story of the Bible where, the devil's trying to tempt Jesus. In this case, Sidious trying to tempt Anakin. And when they're sitting in that concert hall and he's telling him about, well, I might be skipping ahead, but yeah, Anakin's whole thing is he's having visions or dreams of Padme dying and during childbirth, which ends up being true, but he's having those visions, and so that and Sidious knows it, and during that concert scene, he's like, there's ways in the dark side where they can even
manipulate death.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, he's already like trying to get him without telling him, hey, I can help you with that.
Yeah, how did you feel during that? Because that one for me, and even when my wife is watching, she's just like, oh man, like it gives you that feeling in your chest, like that lump in your throat.
Literally, my heart is like pounding so hard right now.
Yeah, it's not emotions, it's like fear, like you're like scared for him, right?
Yeah. It was just like I can't express, like I can't put my emotions and my expressions into words. Like, it was so, I don't even know how to explain it.
You're angry that Palpatine's doing it to Anakin.
Yeah.
You're sad that the decisions he's making. You feel bad for him, honestly, throughout the whole movie. But also, you want him to make the right decision. You want him to be a Jedi, and you want him to not betray Obi-Wan, especially because they're like brothers at this point. They've been through so much together. So it's just like there's so many emotions that go into this movie.
Yeah,
so I understand.
The actor that played Darth Sidious, Chancellor Palpatine, Eric, I can't remember his name right now off the top of my head. Anyway, dude does it so good, doesn't he? Like he's so freaking convincing, and like it almost makes you feel like, damn, I can keep the ones I love from dying. Like,
right? I felt like he was manipulating me. Like it was like. And then because that's when...
You're like, wait, maybe the Sith is right.
Ian McDermott. That just popped into my head, So anyway, he's perfect for this role. Perfect.
Yeah. And then even too, like Anakin, I felt like, because he was, eyes and ears for him in the council, or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
the Jedi Council. And the Jedi was like, you're going to be our eyes and ears and see what he's up to.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was so confused, and like, I didn't know how it was going to, like, I was able to like sense or like predict the past parts in the movies, but like, I couldn't tell what was going to happen. Is he going to like help the Jedi? Is he going to be bad? Like,
well, and then we get to that part where he's like, Anakin realizes, I think this guy is the Sith Lord we've been looking for.
Yeah.
He goes back to rat him out, and that's how everything starts to spiral. He goes, and he takes Mace Windu back with him.
So, before Palpatine and the whole Sith thing, we get into the Grievous fight with Obi-Wan. And I remember so clearly being in the movie theater and that thing that Obi-Wan was writing, that sound it was making, I remember it like echoing around me, and while I watched the movie, that's all I wanted to hear. It's just that thing. I don't know why, but it stuck out to me so much.
How did you feel about that thing? Because I couldn't stand it. I was like, golly, this thing is annoying.
Wait, what's
It's like a screeching lizard, giant lizard dragon.
The lizard he's riding around?
And he's riding on the back, and it's like,
it
I
dude
didn't
the
think anything
whole
of
time.
it.
Really?
But
Oh man, I
that
hated
noise, I
dude.
freaking love it. I don't know why.
I didn't think anything of the noise.
I hated
I
the
was like,
sound of
what
that
noise?
thing. That annoyed me more than Jar Jar Binks did. Jar Jar Binks was cool. That lizard thing though.
I like Jar Jar Binks. When he
I
first
do- I
started
like Jar Jar
talking,
Binks
it was so funny.
Me suck
What
up,
did you
Jar
think
Jar.
about him in this movie? Because he had
He's
a
a
more
senator,
serious
right?
role. Yeah,
Yeah.
he had a more serious role. He wasn't as much of an idiot.
I was kind of like proud, like I felt like a proud mom of Jar Jar, because like he was
He's been through a lot.
known for like being klutz and like messing up everything.
I think George Lucas or the writers of it purposely made him more serious because they got a lot of criticism for him being an idiot
Yeah.
in the first one. But I liked it. I liked it all along. I
So-
didn't like that lizard thing though.
So Grievous, he pulls out 4 lightsabers. What did you think of that?
Oh my gosh, I was so shook. He was like spitting them, and I was like, he's gonna die. Obi-Wan is gonna die. This is where he dies right now.
That seems like impossible. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't go forward at all. You can't advance
And then he,
and
like,
attack.
stopped.
I
Dumb,
could
and I
see
was
that.
like,
I would have
"Sheesh."
felt that way too had I known what happens in the next movies. But yeah, that it was a crazy scene.
Yeah,
though.
I was so hyped though when Obi-Wan like started fighting
cutting
back.
off his arms.
Yeah, I was like,
he's losing
he
arms.
cut off one, he cut off the other one. I was like, shit. Yeah.
What'd you think of those like vampire dudes that? And that's the plan, right? Those vampire dudes that were, they're the ones that told Obi-Wan like they're here.
10,000
Oh.
droids.
Yeah. Those
I mean,
guys.
when at first, like when he was like, "Oh, there's no war here unless you brought it with you," I was like, "Okay, like it was whatever's." And then he like got close and said that, and I was like, "Oh my gosh."
It's
Yeah.
about to go down.
Yeah, I was like, he found him. He made contact.
Yeah.
But yeah, Obi-Wan's brave for taking
Yeah.
off. He just like jumped in the middle of
Love
all
that.
those droids and everyone. And then he takes out the 4. He like draws them in, drops the thing on them.
He's known for that, by the way, throughout Star Wars. Like, Obi-Wan was one of the fiercest Jedi warriors there was in Star Wars. So that's why he's portrayed that way in the movies, too. Like, he's a badass. He's a
Yeah,
badass,
I
for
love
real.
Obi-Wan.
But yeah, he killed Grievous. Like you said, he opened his chest, shot him in the heart,
Yeah,
burned up his insides, and then
yeah.
he-
Well, as soon as I seen the heart, I was like, oh, "That's why he has the cough.
So-
That's why he's sick."
So while all this is going on, he finally beats him. He gives word to the Jedi. The Jedi then tell Anakin to go let Palpatine know. And then they're like, okay, once Palpatine knows, we'll be able to take back the power, his
Yeah.
emergency powers. So he goes to let Palpatine know, and Palpatine's like, well, I hope Obi-Wan's safe or something like that. Like, he didn't even care that
Yeah.
Grievous was dead. So then after that, he was like, yeah, we'll get into Padme. And he starts talking about Padme and how he can save her life and stuff. And then he's like telling him basically all the powers that his master taught him. He's like, wait,
Darth
how do you-
Plagueis the Wise.
how do you know the ways of the dark side? He's like, my master taught me. And then he's like,
That's-
you're the Sith Lord. Yeah.
That's right.
So at this part, I didn't expect, like, first time seeing it, I didn't expect Anakin to go tell the Jedi. Because at that point, he was already in
Yeah.
love with Palpatine's ways and saving Padme and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
him going to tell Mace was a shock.
I was surprised. Yeah.
He was conflicted throughout the whole thing, though, you know.
And then, and then he goes and tells
wanted
Mace.
to do right, but he also wanted to keep Padme alive. Like,
Mhm.
So when Mace goes to attack Palpatine takes out those first 2, Kia di Mundi or
Kiara
whatever.
Mundi.
Yeah.
He's just like,
And then it's just Mace.
Yeeted
And,
him.
hey, so Mace is pretty cool too, because
Yeah.
honestly, I think he could have finished Palpatine. I mean, maybe Palpatine was playing into it a little bit, so that way
I'm
Anakin.
weak.
well, he was about to. He was about to finish off
Finish.
Palpatine,
Yeah.
and you know, that's how Palpatine became disfigured. Is his force electrocution was backfiring on him because he was hitting the lightsaber, and that's how he got disfigured. But
Oh, it makes sense.
yeah, Mace Windu was about to kill him.
Yeah,
Like
it was
and that's
over.
why Anakin was like, "No, it's not the Jedi way. We have to take him back so we can."
Which
he
is
can
stupid.
be
It's very
How
contradictory
did you-
because earlier
Yeah.
in the movie he killed Dooku the same way.
right. How did you
Yeah.
feel about that?
I honestly, I felt like when what's his name, Mace
Mace Windu.
Windu, when Mace like had the Sith Lord like on the ground, like ready to kill him, I thought Anakin was gonna come and like slice him in half with his lightsaber. I didn't know that he was gonna like,
Cut off his arms.
yeah.
Dude, that freaking sucked. That's like the most conflicting part for me because, like I said, I wanted Anakin to do the right thing. Even after knowing what was going to happen, I still wanted him to do the right thing. And then he cuts off his arms.
Again, still, my wife, same thing. She's, why, Anakin? Why? During that moment, especially. Like, why?
It could have just been so different.
But that scene is super cool, though. When he does that, cuts off his hands, and then Darth Sidious sends him out the window with the light. And then you see Anakin, like, fall to his knees, and he's like, what have I done?
Yeah.
And then that's when Sidious is like, henceforth, you'll be known as Darth Vader. Like,
oh my gosh, when he said that, I was so shook.
Because you know who Darth Vader is.
Yes, because I knew the character Darth Vader, obviously, not knowing.
But you didn't know Anakin, yeah.
And then he was like, I was so shook.
I saw it. Did you see it in theaters?
Oh, yeah.
You did, right?
I remember hearing
I saw it in theaters when everybody, when he said that henceforth to be known as Darth Vader, and with the surround sound and everything, because you can hear it when you're watching it, even on TV. You can hear that echo or that vibration in his voice and how the smoke is coming out. Dude, it was so like epic, and then everybody starts like clapping and cheering. It was like a moment for real.
Yeah. That's when it all started connecting.
Mm-hmm.
So immediately he's like, I'll do anything you ask, master. It wasn't even like, he wasn't even questioning anymore. He's like, yep, you're my master.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whatever you do.
I mean, what do you do at that point? You know, like, there's no going back at this point. It's like,
what he could have done is he could have killed Palpatine and then just went to Yoda and be like, hey, he's done, but he took out Mace.
Well, no, because then he would have never learned how to keep Padme alive.
Yeah, I know.
That was his ultimate goal. His ultimate goal was to keep her alive, right? So what do you do at that point? It's like, whatever you want me to do, I'll do it.
Yeah, that's true. Also, my initial thought was he's doing all this to keep her alive. She's gonna I initially thought she's gonna end up dying anyways. Watch, and he's doing this all for her. That was my initial thought.
So we get execute Order 66. Oh my god, this execute Order 66 is freaking iconic.
I must say, go ahead.
My face the whole time, I was just stuck.
My heart was in my throat the whole time, dang.
That actually happened, yeah.
That became a meme. I mean, it's a Star Wars meme. You might have even seen it, didn't know what it was, but it's like you see Sidious at a drive-through Order 66, and then people are like, "Huh?" That moment was epic, man. I mean, it's a bad thing, but
yeah,
it's a prelude to how and why they're in the situation they are in the next what's to come, you know. And you see why it's what happened to all the Jedi? What
Dude,
where'd all the Jedi?
I could feel Yoda's pain in that, because
Oh
Yoda
my
could obviously
gosh.
sense everything that's going on, and when the Force takes a hit, he can feel it. So I mean, I was when I was watching the movie again right now, I'm like, damn, every Jedi is dying, and it hurt so much.
Stop! You're gonna make me cry.
The worst one. I mean, you see when. I forget her name, but she's got the two.
Yeah, Alice.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and she just turns around. She's like, "Where's everybody? They were running with me." That's during the Clone Wars, right? And she turns around. They just take her out. Dude,
like that.
Yeah, that was a moment for real.
And then when Yoda fell to his little knee, I was like, no.
He knew right away too.
Yeah.
He was with the Wookiees, right?
Yeah.
And he's just standing there, and he's he senses things something's going on, and flies up and chops the two clone troopers' heads out.
Knows, man.
Dude, I'm getting goosebumps right now thinking of that moment. No joke, man. I'm feeling it.
And to make you even more sad, while Order 66 going on and the Jedi is dying, Anakin hits the Jedi temple to take out the Jedi that are there.
The younglings.
Oh my god.
The younglings.
And Anakin does the unthinkable and kills the damn younglings, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a horrible thing to do, and you kind of saw it leading up to it when he killed the younglings over at the Tusken Raiders, killed everyone, and he does the same here.
Well, that's just to show the type of evil that was brewing in him and what was to come, how evil he actually is gonna be, how dark he's gonna be.
Yeah,
you know?
I just sensed that darkness. You didn't make me cry.
And you
again.
see the little kid. What are we
Oh
gonna do,
my
Master Anakin?
gosh!
And they don't even know. Like
Then
Anakin
he
pulls
sees
out
him
his
pull out his
lightsaber.
lightsaber.
I know.
And then he goes back to, well, not to gloss over it, but it's a sad, he's killing little kids. But he goes back and he tells Padme, and he's like, he tells her everything that's going on. Like, with my new powers, like,
Oh, that made me so mad. I was like, he's lying to her.
Well, I mean, he was, but in his mind, he believed it all. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah.
He believed it all. And getting to my favorite part of Star Wars in all the movies, where they go to Mustafar. Well, first off, Anakin goes to Mustafar. He tells Padme, right? He tells Padme to go, or no, he tells her stay here.
Yeah.
He's like, stay here, and I'll be back. I gotta go take care of some business, right?
Yeah.
He goes to Mustafar, which is the lava planet,
Uh-huh.
and he's ordered by Palpatine to kill all the separatists, right? And then as soon as he gets there, they're like, Lord Vader.
We've been waiting for you.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And when he kills them all,
Oh
that
my
that
god.
that scene is so iconic. When he turns around and his eyes are orange, they're like glowing orange, and the
Yes.
hood's covering half his eye, and like, man, I freaking love that scene.
How did you feel about
I was like, should, because I don't know how, like, he transformed. Like, I was like, how did he, is it just because, like,
Just the evil that
it
took over.
took, like, the dark.
I actually went. I'd say it was way after episode 3 came out too. Probably like 10 years ago now, like 2010, 11. I bought those contacts. I bought the Jedi cloak. I had my lightsaber. I dressed up as that Anakin for Halloween
His MySpace,
one year. Do you
MySpace
remember
profile
that?
picture?
Do you remember that?
Dang, that's dope.
I did. I went to work dressed like that. I worked for a bank. I went to the bank dressed as Anakin. And only Star Wars people that knew Star Wars knew who I was. Everybody else was like, what are you supposed to be? It was pretty cool.
My face is hurting from this episode and my smile that I've had on this whole time we're talking about Star Wars. I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But yeah, Obi-Wan trying to find out. Well, he comes back and him and Yoda are gonna decide where to go, and Obi-Wan finds out that Anakin is the one.
Well, yeah, Obi-Wan and Yoda are watching the tapes, and he's like, go into the archives, only sadness or pain you will find.
Yeah.
And that's when he sees Anakin killing the kids, and he's like, no, like...
Because they seen that they were killed by a lightsaber, and they're like, who would have done it? So then that's why he goes into it. But...
Obi-Wan is so heartbroken, too, at that moment.
Yeah.
So Yoda sends Obi-Wan over to attack Anakin, and he's gonna go take Sidious.
Yeah.
Well, he goes to Padme first.
Obi-Wan wants Sidious, but he's like, no, you're not strong enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he goes, and then he goes to Padme because he's like trying to find out where to find Anakin.
Yeah, he doesn't know where Anakin is, so he
Yeah.
goes, Padme, she'll know, and he does the smart thing,
Yeah.
hides in her ship. He knows she's gonna go back to Mustafar to go be with Anakin, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we get into the really cool double battle scene finally. You get Yoda facing us against Palpatine, the battle of the flippers, because they're both just
Oh,
flipping.
yeah.
That's why people hate on it so much. Like that whole battle scene, both are all CGI pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was
But
good.
paying attention to the CGI, people just watch the
They're
battle.
epic fights, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Anakin's and Obi-Wan's being better, but
It's
the two,
the fans of the originals that hate on it so much because
they just want.
in the first movie, you're gonna see when you watch it, it's nothing compared to the level of skill. It's like, how do you go from those skills to now all you can do is do this with your lightsaber, like, But I thought it was awesome, man. And then how Sidious and Yoda are both using the Force to just throw those things.
Stuff,
in.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I love Yoda like catching his electricity and like turning it back on him.
Yeah.
it was so epic, man. But
Then when he loses his cloak.
Yeah.
So wait, first we gotta get to my favorite scene. We skipped it we're getting there when when Padme lands on Mustafar and she comes out and Anakin comes out to greet her, and then she's like, I don't know what's going on. I'm so confused. And then Obi-Wan comes down the ramp and he's like,
you have done that yourself.
no. Well, Anakin's like, what does he do? Like, you brought him here for me?
Yeah.
And that's when he's like looking at Padme, right?
Yeah, he choked her.
And she's like, no, I didn't know. I didn't know. And then, yeah, that's the first time you ever see Darth Vader do Darth Vader do the force choke is choking Padme. And he's like, let her go, Anakin, let her go. Oh, man, that scene right there.
That's such a stupid decision.
that scene
If
made me
he's so worried
mad.
about saving Padme's life and then he's right there choking her.
Literally.
Anakin's telling her, he's like, you know, with my new powers and with we can overthrow the empire and this can be our new empire. And then she's like, Anakin. she tells him, Anakin, like, what are you doing? Like, you're going down a path that I can't follow. And she's like, you're breaking my heart. Like, I was like, Dad, you're breaking my heart too, Anakin. And he's like, that's when Obi-Wan is like, let her go, Anakin, let her go. Like, you're gonna kill her or whatever. Oh man, that part to this day when I watch that scene, I'm still like all in my feels. Yeah, for sure.
How did you feel? Mad too, though. Yeah. I was so mad. I was like, he went through all of this trouble to like save her, and then he gets mad saying that she went against him or whatever, and that he's gonna kill her. So I was like, what was the point in?
And she's pregnant the whole time.
Literally.
So yeah, we get into the fight scene. Let's go over the Sidious one first. So the Sidious and Yoda, they're fighting each other, and then the fight ends with Yoda just running away basically.
Yeah.
He doesn't really finish off Palpatine, and Palpatine sends troops looking for him.
I think Yoda knows though that like there's not gonna be a winner here. Like we're just gonna keep fighting and fighting. Like let me just get out while I can. Like you know what I mean. So because Yoda knows he needs to stay alive. Like who's gonna keep the Jedi? Like he needs to be alive. You know what I mean. So I think that's part of why. I don't think he just got scared and was like, "Oh, I need to go."
Yeah, he wasn't running out of fear.
Yeah. Did you feel like he was afraid and that's why he took off?
No, I don't think so. I mean, kind of the same thing. Like, they're very crucial. Like the ones that are left.
I agree.
But let's get into the more important fight. We get into Anakin, Obi-Wan, a lot of CGI, a lot of lava and towers falling and floating over the lava, and man, I freaking loved it. It's just so back and forth, and you could see their skill level in the sabers, and
they're just man, it's awesome. That's why just going back and forth. Like I don't care if it was going backwards and showing their skill was better, so much better than the original. I don't care, man. It was still an epic fight scene.
Yeah, it was. It was intense.
And then you see that moment where I think Anakin or Yoda Obi-Wan tries to use the Force, and then Anakin uses the Force, and they're both like, and then they both just like fall backwards and going back and forth. Man, that was so awesome.
Yeah, it was so back and forth the whole fight.
Yeah.
But Anakin's overconfident self, he.
He's on and then Obi-Wan
tells
jumps.
him not to do it.
Obi-Wan jumps off onto onto land, and
I have the high ground, Anakin.
Yeah, I have that. It's over. Like I have the high ground. Like don't try it. Yeah. You underestimate my powers, he tells him.
Idiot.
So he flips over him, and he gets his legs chopped off. And then he's right there crawling up, and he goes, I hate you.
Yeah.
Did you feel that?
And then when Obi-Wan was like, I loved you, and I was like,
you were a brother, Anakin, I loved you. Like,
yeah, that scene is so epic.
Did you feel that?
When
you look in Anakin's eyes, and he's like, I hate you.
Yeah.
You felt,
just like
you could feel he's just getting darker and darker and darker, and like, oh man.
And you can't help but feel for Obi-Wan. I mean, that really was his brother, and they've been through so much throughout the whole Clone Wars show, which we don't get into here. But the second movie, even knowing him as a little kid and Qui-Gon bringing him in and stuff like that, they've been through a lot together. So for Anakin to flip so fast, and obviously Obi-Wan is kind of shook by it all. I don't know how you could just turn on your whole life that fast. Obi-Wan kind of dumb decision, and he leaves Anakin and doesn't fully finish him off, which you kind of knew going into because he didn't want to fight Anakin in the
I don't think he wanted to kill him. He chops legs off out of defense, and then he's just like, if he dies, he dies. Like you know, like I don't want to I don't want to actually kill him. But it's not the Jedi way, and he loves him though. You know.
Hey, but it would have been different if he did kill him.
Right? And then when Sidious comes to get Anakin, right?
Yeah. He's like, he's still alive.
Yeah.
And then you go and you see the suit for the first time, Darth Vader, and you hear the
when he started breathing?
That moment in the theaters. Yeah. That moment in theaters when first he raises them up, and then you just hear the like everybody went crazy in theaters, and then everybody immediately wanted to like walk out when he's no. But that part was so epic.
Oh my god.
That part was stupid. But But let's pretend like that never happened.
And it was stupid because Sidious pretty much just lied to him, said, "You killed her, Anakin."
Yeah.
Which, I mean, technically he did.
Yeah.
But I think Sidious was saying it as in a way when you choked her, she was dead.
I think he was saying it to save himself because he told Anakin that he would save her.
Well, the point was he told Anakin, "You killed her to get Anakin to be even more like."
Even when he's freaking out, you can see Sidious smiling in the back.
He's like, he's a liar. He's a manipulator. Sidious is manipulating the whole thing. The whole point of everything he's doing is to empower himself. He's the emperor now. You know what I mean? Like he's doing it to get Anakin to sink even more down the dark side. You know what I mean? But when he breathes,
it was intense. I was just like,
you hear the dun, dun,
dun,
the music. Oh man.
So we get into Padme, and she's essentially dying while she's giving birth, just like they said she was going to in the beginning. And it turned out that this was the reason she's dying is because Anakin went through this whole thing to try and save her. Otherwise, she would have just been safe.
Baby comes out, she's like, Luke.
Yeah.
Baby, Leia.
Okay. When he was like, the babies, and he was like, babies.
Yeah.
I was like, babies. It was just like so much.
Oh yeah, you didn't know it was twins.
I
You didn't know it was Luke and Leia. That's
and then I was like, that makes so much sense. And then as it was playing on, I was like, okay, the only scene I know from Star Wars is Luke, I am your father. And I was like, does she have a? Because before they said it was twins, I was like, does she have a boy and name him Luke? Is that why he says Luke, I am your father? Like, that's what was going on in my head. And then they're like, babies. And I was like, babies? And it was like, Leia, Luke. And I was like, Leia? What the heck? Leia's his daughter?
So,
It was so much.
But we get into where the babies are going to go. And Bail Organa takes...
Like, we've always wanted a daughter, he says.
Yeah, to adopt a daughter.
I'll take the girl back. Yeah, and
then they send Luke to his family, Owen, on Tatooine, where Anakin grew up pretty much, and where his mom Shmi was.
And that's where Yoda tells Obi-Wan, like, go with him and watch over him, because he knows he ain't safe there. Like, the Force is gonna be in him. Like, make sure he's protected and safe, and that the dark side don't try to come for him.
And one more thing before we get into the finale, Yoda also tells Obi-Wan that his old master has learned the ways of the Force, where he can now
communicate through death.
Oh my gosh, I was so... my gosh.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon. That's his reaction. Qui-Gon. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I love this movie. This movie has so much good stuff in it. It's like such a great story.
I was like, the whole ending of this movie, like, jaw-dropping. I was just like, the whole time, just like, stuck.
I'm so happy she loved Star Wars, because...
Me too.
We need more.
Especially this one.
Yeah. So there's going to be a lot more to come. We're going to do, obviously, the original trilogy, the sequel trilogy. We're going to do the Solo movie. We're going to do Rogue One. There's just everything Star Wars. We'll see how she feels about the shows in a later point. But for now, we're going to do trilogy by trilogy. And I'm glad you're liking it.
Yeah, definitely after this third movie, I was like, I need to watch more. I need answers.
It makes me feel good because I'm a Star Wars lover and I like people to like what I like. I'm glad you liked it.
I also remember Chris having the Darth Vader costume, and then
Is
just
the voice
like
changing helmet?
yeah, it was voice changing too. And I remember Luke, I'm your father, because I would put the helmet on and say that because that's the only line I knew from the movie.
Did you know that's not actually a line in the movie?
It's not.
No.
Well, I mean, I've never seen it, so I don't know. Where's that from?
We'll get
then?
into that.
Yeah.
But,
it's just
my
people.
whole life is a lie.
Yeah.
My whole life is a lie.
The actual line is, "No, I am your father."
Yeah, people always.
But
You'll get there.
Yeah.
It's coming.
My life is a lie.
And I think that's your dad's favorite movie, right? Is that
Empire
movie?
Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back. Your dad's favorite movie.
Empire's really awesome.
It's probably
I
like
love Empire. Return of
fourth,
the Jedi is
it's
really
probably
cool
like fourth on my list. Return of the Jedi.
So much.
Yeah.
There's
But
so many.
We'll get into it. Anyways, guys, we appreciate you being here. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Make sure you leave a comment if you liked it. And check out the videos on your right here or on your left, wherever they are. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Stuck on the Screen Up.